I recently had the opportunity to be in San Antonio, Texas, and the reason I went down there was because Oblate School of Theology in San Antonio was celebrating a gala, a fundraiser event one evening. So the theme was Provence, the part of southern France where the Oblates were founded in the early 1800s. And so we had coq au vin, we had all the pastries and traditional dishes that would have been served and that St. Eugene would have eaten during his time. A great theme, and certainly helped acquaint a lot of the people there with the missionary Oblates. While I was there and hung around Oblate School of Theology for a while, I became acquainted with a couple programs that I'd like to tell more folks about. First of all, Oblate School of Theology is really growing. We have about 25 new seminarians that began studying there this fall from 3 different religious communities, so that is great news. But a couple of the programs that the Oblates offer at Oblate School of Theology are quite significant and important. It is the Chair of Oblate Studies, which will offer a master's degree and doctoral degree in spirituality with a specialization in Oblate Studies. And so a person going to Oblate School of Theology can learn a lot more about the Oblates, where we were founded, and most particularly, of course, the spirituality of St. Eugene de Mazenod and the zeal that he then gave from that spirituality to a lot of the missionary work that we do in the world. Another exciting way that Oblate School of Theology reaches out to the wider community, not only in the United States but all over the world, is through their Kofa program. This is a program that is fairly recent to Oblate School of Theology, and really what it does is train African American leaders through the programs and studies that they are able to take at Oblate, and then for them to go out into the wider community, particularly African American community, as ministers, especially to sensitize people to the difficulties of violence, to help them to understand through education how they can make the community more viable, a safer place to be and live. So we're very, very proud of both of these programs, which really show that the school not only is concerned about studies and theories, but really has a very pragmatic and practical approach of reaching out to the wider community and making it a better place to live, especially for the poor, which of course is at the very heart of the charism of the Oblates and St. Eugene de Mazenod. On Monday, November 13th, I had the opportunity to celebrate Mass over at Catholic University of America, which is right across the street from the headquarters of the Oblates in Washington. The reason I attended that Mass was because it was in honor of Father George McLean, an Oblate brother of mine who is deceased for a couple years now. Father McLean taught philosophy at the Catholic University of America for several years. He certainly made a significant and good contribution there. But what was really being celebrated at this Mass and then later at an inauguration was the McLean Center, the George McLean Center on the campus of the Catholic University of America. Father George was a philosopher unlike any other. His idea was to bring philosophers from all over the world together, from various cultures, ethnicities, backgrounds, ways of life, bring those philosophers together to the extent that he could, with the belief that through these philosophers affecting the places where they live, them getting to know one another, study together, they might really change the political situation of many places in the world. He was convinced that philosophy was the way in which world situations could be changed, that political leaders would begin to learn about these philosophies and adopt them, making the world a better place to live. How effective was Father George in these endeavors? That could be questioned, I suppose. I'm not sure. But he certainly made inroads, such as being the first Catholic priest to be able to go to Tehran University in Iran, and was able to present a paper there. And I think that sort of thing indicates the passion that he had for philosophy being really able to change the world, at least in his mind. Father John Stack, who got a degree in theology His dissertation was about the work of Father George McLean. So at the inauguration, he was able to give a presentation that really told about the vision and the focus of Father George McLean. We are certainly proud as missionary oblates of the fact that there is now a center for further studies at the Catholic University of America in which students can come and continue the great work that he began. And hopefully through the intercession of Father George, the studies that he began will be able to continue, and who knows what kind of impact they might ultimately have on the wider community and the world community.